Boom, yo, what's up, y'all? Byron Rogers here. As many of you are aware, there was a tragedy that took place in our world a day or so ago. George Floyd was killed by law enforcement officers. I try to stay out of these things. I try to kind of, I try not to really post too much about these things, but every once in a while something happens and things come along where I feel that, we've all been given these platforms for a reason and we should weigh in on situations. So I've got to give you my 2 cents at the risk of sounding something like a broken record, because I'm sure you guys are tired. I mean, much respect and my condolences to him and his family. But, I'm sure you guys have heard a lot about this, and it's starting to become one of those things, starting to become a narrative that's being replayed a lot, I don't want to be just another talking head, but I think that there's some things I'd like to draw some attention to. I tried to watch this video of what happened to George, and I honestly couldn't make it through the first few minutes of it. I could not, I've basically seen it, but I've admittedly, after the first few minutes of the law enforcement officer pinning his neck to the ground, knowing what's going to happen, and I just couldn't. So it took me a couple laps to get it done, and it's absolutely tragic. And I try to stay out of judging people for their tactics while they're in the field making things happen, because as a combat Marine, I understand what it's like to have to make split-second decisions while people are shooting at you after you just got blown up. Women and children are screaming, and you got to take a whole family hostage so you can set up security and fight an enemy, right? I get it. Armchair quarterbacks, I get it. I don't want to be one of those. But obviously, in my opinion, the tactics that were used were not good enough. What happened was wrong. Those law enforcement officers, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, were wrong. And they need to be dealt with the way that our society deals with those things. I get it, I understand. But what I do want to draw a lot of attention to, and hopefully more attention to, is a few other things as well. In our world, there's what should happen and there's what does happen. And there's going to be what should happen and there's going to be what does happen forever. And the sooner you can start to really take a look at what does happen versus what should happen and learn to become okay with that, I think you'll live a higher quality life. What I really, really am upset about in our world, and what I worry about in our world more than anything, is divisiveness. This one thing of divisiveness, this one energy of divisiveness. This saying, united we fall, divided we stand. United we stand, divided we fall. It's really, 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 really important. As a people, we are very, very, very powerful. As a race, we are very, very, very powerful. This term race has been misused so much that I feel it's only wise to define it. There is one race. Understand. All right, there is one race, and it is the human race that we are all a part of. Okay, that is our race, that is our species, right? There are different cultures, there are different ethnic groups, okay? Different ethnicities, so these things exist. There are different opinions, and what I see is a consistent flow of content and energy being devoted to keeping us divided by real or fake or socially engineered means. We must be divided. Pepsi and Coca-Cola, must be different, although they are the same. They're owned by the same people, you know what I mean? So what I fear more than any of this is us being divided again, even more. You know what I'm saying? How many other, we've been separated and divided now over in the political arenas. You know what I'm saying? You guys have to see the controlled opposition, the Hegelian dialectic of it all. COVID is winding down, and now we're up in arms, and it's brother versus brother over this tragedy. It is a tragedy. COVID-19 is an illness that can kill some people, not 90% of them, but some of them. You know what I mean? These things are real, but we have to look at the implications of them if we allow them to drive our behavior to do things that only disempower us. What do I mean when I say only disempower us? We go to war with each other and we don't pay attention to who's driving and controlling us. Now it's vaccine, non-vaccine. Now we're going to war with each other over that. It's political. It's Republican. It's Democrat. Now we're going to war over that. It's black versus white. Listen, in every single culture group and demographic in this world, there are good apples and there are bad apples. I am not going to hold every police officer that I come in contact with guilty and treat them as guilty for what a few idiots did when dealing with that seemed like a good dude. You know what I mean? It's very tragic. But the reality is, you look at every single culture and ethnicity on this planet, and what you will see is, I'm gonna go Chris Rock on you real quick. You'll see a battle going on for the reputation of that culture. You'll see a battle between the reasonable, good ones, and you'll see a battle for the unreasonable, ridiculous ones. Some would call them, anyways. You see a battle going on, and what I believe the wiser people do is they realize when they look at that culture, when we look at black people and we see a bunch of thugs and goons and dudes running around tatted up doing hood rat stuff, for lack of a better word, and then you see certain other black men that take a higher road, do great things for society, contribute on higher levels. Well, there's a battle going on. So are all black people guilty because a number of them choose to be gangsters? Are all black people guilty because a good number of them choose to loot stores and burn them to the ground in some kind of fake righteousness? Because black people are killing more black people than anybody else, okay? I mean, this is the stuff that goes through my mind. No, it's not true. It's not fair. Every time my entire life I get on an elevator or I'm around white people and I feel that they're scared or I feel that they're judging me, I feel this war going on. Because I know that they watch the news and they saw all y'all running around acting like hoodlums. And they're wondering if I'm like that because I'm wearing the same color skin, and it's very, very upsetting and it's very aggravating. But you gotta realize that this dynamic, when you walk into the convenience store and whoever's behind the counter is following you around and keeping an eye on you, you gotta realize that profile comes from the way that the rest of your culture, the rest of your ethnicity, you're dealing with the burden of their behavior. So now we look at this dynamic happening in the law enforcement community where a few bad apples, a few idiots, they exist in every community. There's I'm telling you, you know what I mean? White people have them. There's white people that act a fool, that go run around and act stupid. You know what I'm saying? Now, they don't make it on TV like the black stupid people do. That's a whole nother conversation. You got Asians, they have them. They run around and do stupid stuff. And the normal Asian people are trying to be like, we're not all like this. You know what I mean? You've got them in law enforcement. You got them in veteran community. I'm sitting here looking at some veterans and I'm like, stop it. Get up. Get your stuff together. Let's be as amazing as we were trained to be. Let's be as amazing as we were in combat. But you want to sit here and have a pity party. And now when people hear that I'm a veteran, they don't know whether or not they should feel sorry for me. You know what I'm saying? It's killing me. You guys got to realize, no matter what culture you're in, no matter what ethnicity you come from, no matter what gang you belong to, there's going to be good apples and there's going to be bad apples. And you're stupid. Pause for effect. If you think all the apples in the barrel should be held accountable and judged for the actions of a few, look in the mirror. Assess every single culture and demographic you're a part of. Church people. God bless them. A lot of them mean well, but there are some knuckleheads running around pretending to be Christians. There are some knuckleheads running around pretending to be Catholic. There are some knuckleheads running around pretending to be Muslim. You know what I'm saying? There's a knuckleheads in every single group. And if you can't figure that out and you think that's a good reason to go loot, rob, steal, break into things, cuss out a police officer, have a war on the people that protect the fabric of your society, you're not intelligent, and you're a hypocrite of the highest order. What happened to him was tragic. What happens to many people in life is tragic. What stupid people that belong to every single demographic on the planet do is tragic. The fact that we have to do life with stupid people on the planet is tragic. But the reality is there's what does happen, there's what should happen. That man, God bless him, man. I hope his family are okay, and they're not. And I've seen death. You know what I mean? And I've been to Iraq. I've seen horrible things. I work in an industry where this stuff is around me from time to time. But I'm not taking anything away from that. What I am saying is, you guys, we need to pay attention so that we don't get played. Where was the uproar when however many black people were killed each other over the weekend in just Chicago? You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's wrong when all of a sudden somebody else kills one of us? You know what I'm saying? You look at the numbers on how many white people get killed by the cops. That stuff never makes TV. Why doesn't it make TV? Why don't you ever see a white man wrongfully getting killed by the cops on the TV? Because you're being played. So no, I'm not gonna repost the video on my networks, because I'm not gonna perpetuate an issue that I believe is being leveraged for self-righteous hypocriticalness and divisiveness. Okay, black men and women in America, this is the best time to have ever been living in America. There's more opportunity here. You're not even in America. You have an international platform if you just learn how to use your cell phone. There's more opportunity in this world now than there's ever been before. No one is holding you down, and I'm living proof of it, because I came from a third world country where you guys are out here fighting over tennis shoes. People back where I come from will kill you for water. Okay, and then I moved to America. And then I came up in the infantry as an enlisted dude going over to Iraq. And then I got out and built my businesses. I don't even want to hear it. Anyway, so my heart goes out to him. Honor and respect to him. To the ones that wronged him, they need to be dealt with. It's unacceptable. Ridiculous. We'll never know the intention of that, the men that wronged him. We'll never know if they were jaded, if they were prejudiced, we'll never know. But they need to be judged. As far as how we move forward, we need to remain united. This is conveniently popping up on the heels of COVID. We as a people need to take our licks and remain united and be careful of who we let control the narrative in our country. I'm sorry this video has been so long. I feel heavy over this topic. This is Byron Rogers. I hope to see you all at the Protector Symposium. Visit me at byronrogersmotivation.com. And I make these videos because I love you guys. Talk soon. Out. Boom.